The day the church tried to execute a pig, a true story from 14th century France. 8. The crime no one believed in 1386, a pig stood trial for murder in France. It wore clothes, had a lawyer, and was sentenced to hang after a priest tried to execute it. This wasn't a joke. It was medieval justice, when animals were people in the eyes of the law. To understand how a pig ended up in court, you have to enter the world of 14th century Normandy, where faith, superstition, and law were inseparable. In medieval Europe, church saw sin everywhere, not just in people, but in the natural world. Animals that attacked humans could be accused of moral guilt. Just like humans, they could be tried in court, complete with judges, prosecutors, witnesses, and even clergy. From dogs and horses to roosters and rats, hundreds of animals were dragged before medieval judges. Some trials were local spectacles. Others were solemn religious rituals. But none were more infamous than what happened in Falaise. The trial of the murderous sow in January 1386. In the small town of Falaise, a sow, a large female pig, attacked and fatally injured a small child. The townspeople were horrified. But their response wasn't just grief, it was legal. The local authorities arrested the animal, confined it in the town jail, and reported the matter to the church. The bailiff, Jean Lemakin, ordered a formal trial. The charge: murder. According to surviving records preserved in the archives of Normandy, the sow was brought before the secular court, had a legal defender, and evidence was heard. Eyewitnesses testified to the attack. Then, the church was summoned to purify the case. Before sentencing, priests were called to perform an exorcism, a ritual to cleanse the animal's soul, believed to be possessed by a demon. For the church, sin could enter through beasts just as through man. Once the ceremony was complete, the court ruled. The sow was found guilty of homicide and condemned to death. As recorded by historian Edward Payson Evans, the animal was hanged by the hind feet in the public square of Falaise. In the presence of all the people, what's remarkable is how seriously it was treated. The executioner was paid for his work, witnesses were compensated, and the entire procedure was documented as if it involved a human criminal. Justice, in 1386, made no distinction between man and beast. A world where evil had hooves, this trial wasn't unique. Across medieval Europe, the church and secular courts held dozens of such proceedings. In 1474, in Basel, Switzerland, a rooster was tried and executed for laying an egg, believed to be the work of the devil. In 70, France, a bull was excommunicated for killing a man. In Autun, rats were summoned to court for stealing grain, and when they failed to appear, the defense lawyer argued they couldn't safely travel because of cats along the route. Behind the absurdity was a worldview where religion ruled reason. The church saw demonic forces in every tragedy. An animal's crime was treated as a moral failure one that had to be punished to maintain divine order. The lesson of the pig: to us, it sounds ridiculous putting a pig on trial. But to the medieval mind, the cosmos was a courtroom. Every act of violence, every broken law, every unnatural event had to be judged before God. In a world ruled by fear, faith, and ignorance, even a beast could become the devil's accomplice. And so, on that cold morning in 1386, the people of Falaise believed they weren't hanging a pig, they were hanging evil itself. The pig of Falaise executed. January 1386. Documented in archives du Calvados. Cited in E.P. Evans, 1906.